Do you feel like you are stuck in life? Trying to be perfect is basically like taking one step forwards and two steps back. Why is this happening? Well, let me tell you a few reasons why you are stuck in one place. In the pursuit of being perfect, one is walking up a very steep hill with the end goal being perfection. We cannot bear the weight of mistakes because we then attribute these mistakes as huge setbacks on our path, and it really messes with our heads. When you try to be perfect in all manners but constantly keep failing, because it is obviously impossible to be perfect, you are unnecessarily putting an extreme amount of pressure and anxiety in anything you do. Every slight dissatisfaction makes you hate yourself even more. Thus, setting impossible goals only keeps achievable ones further away. Next thing is perfectionism paralysis. It is the result of trying to wait for a perfect opportunity that will likely never come. Try to think of all the amazing chances life gave you, but you gave them up just because you didn't feel they were good enough. While waiting for the perfect opportunity, you missed the great ones with few faults that would turn out great. Usually people do this in the fear of either failing because they chose wrong or choosing a worse option than they could have. When you realize that nobody can be perfect and mistakes actually move you forward instead of backward, you can free yourself of this paralysis and start taking meaningful steps towards your goal. Your self-worth suffers immensely from all this mental strain that you yourself created out of thin air. Constantly beating yourself up for making tiny, unimportant mistakes creates an infinite negative feedback loop. I try to be perfect. I make one mistake. I mentally degrade myself. And the loop continues until there's little hope to come back. Few people realize that the mistakes are actually the parts leading you forward. So many of us are too afraid to do something and fail, and so we end up doing nothing instead. How can we then break the snares of perfectionism and lead a happy life? First, remember that no one ever was, is, or will be perfect, even though it seems that way. If you think that someone is perfect, you can wholly trust me that they aren't. All of this hassle with perfectionism wasn't a problem till modern times, thanks to social media, the highlight reels of our lives. Of course, someone seems perfect when you can only see their good side. This constant comparing to only nice parts of others is creating an unhealthy sense of perfectionism. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius teaches us the importance of acceptance and equality in the face of competition. He writes, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." In embracing the changing of existence, we free ourselves from the shackles of perfectionism. Second, you will make mistakes. That's how you learn. You may think that people around you don't make mistakes, and even if they do, they actually meant to do them. You are only leading yourself down a path of hurt. Without mistakes, what point would there be in trying at all? There would be no trying, because everyone would succeed on their first try. How ridiculous is that? The main part of failing is learning a lesson to not make that mistake again. Now, you will make mistakes, and they will feel bad. But if you just take a step back and tell yourself, now what is this trying to teach me? You will not only save yourself from mental health problems, but you will be able to avoid this mistake and be a better person thanks to it. Remember, an unwise man doesn't learn from his mistakes. A wise man does. And the wisest man learns from the mistakes of others. Thank you again, dear seeker, for opening your mind and freeing yourself from the shackles of perfectionism. I hope to see you again in another time and see how much you've grown.